accepted, challenge accepted. The attitude is always challenge accepted. Challenge accepted, challenge accepted. The attitude is always challenge accepted.
Welcome back. Did you enjoy probably the best beer in the world? We're moving on probably the funniest part in the conference.
The lightning talks.
The rules are as follows.
Each of our lightning speakers has a tight 5-minute slot on stage to discuss a topic of their own choice. Explicit advertising, however, is not recommended. It is not prohibited, but the audience doesn't like that.
When those 5 minutes are up, you'll hear a sound like this. Sound like this.
Dong! It sounds something like this. Dong!
That sound signals the end of the...
Okay, this is the gong of our conference. Ooh.
This signals the end of the speaker's time.
And when you hear that sound, you have to make a big noise by applauding them to encourage them to go off the stage.
Now it's time to pass the mic to our first brave Lightning Talk speaker.
Spasimir Pavlov!
Hello, and thank you all for being here. After a lot of self-convincing, I managed to make myself take this honestly amazing opportunity to quickly talk about a subject that us as developers very commonly look past and we don't want to deal with, which is cybersecurity. Most of us are not cybersecurity specialists, so we don't think that we can really do anything that can have any real effect on our applications or anyone else's applications. But it turns out that as developers, we actually have the potential to find some really critical vulnerabilities in both our applications and also other people's. And I wanted to tell you a personal story of mine, which happened about a year and something, a few months ago, where I managed to find a vulnerability that allowed me to download lists of full names, addresses, and social security numbers of teachers and students from all schools in Bulgaria, from the biggest school platform that's essentially used by every single school in this country. And I didn't really have any previous cybersecurity skills. All I did was I just wanted to test how the platform was made. So I opened it up, I went into my DevTools, and I looked at the different functionalities of the platform, and I thought, which one do I not want to make? Which will be the most complicated, the one where I will probably cut the most corners, will forget the most checks, and will do something wrong. And I looked around, and there weren't too many of those, unfortunately, but one of them was a file upload in messages. And so I started to look there. I simply uploaded a file to look at how the server communicates with the client. And so that after uploading a file, it gives me a single ID of the file. And I thought that those were sequential IDs, which are really easy to guess, since anything less than the current one will almost always be a valid file. And so to verify, I then uploaded a second file, and lo and behold, the ID was the same as the previous, +1, which basically confirmed my hypothesis. And so then I went on to actually send a message to see how the server communicates what files are attached to a message. And I saw that in the actual request, there is a field for file IDs. And I thought, am I actually, if I was making this, would I actually check in the database that these files were uploaded by the current user? And I said no, at least as a prototype, I wouldn't. I would just completely skip that check, which is not a good idea. But it turns out that's exactly what they did as well. So I just put out some random numbers, and I attach them in this file IDs field, and I send the request, and the server very kindly just gave me a random file name that I did not upload and just allowed me to download it. And after I knew that this was a vulnerability that I can exploit, I just simply spared 2 to 3 hours to write a quick Node.js script that just sends a message and extracts 100 random files from the system. And after playing a little bit with it, thinking that I would only get some homework assignments or just profile pictures of people, I started to see a lot of user data that I probably wasn't supposed to see, which would allow me to essentially blackmail people, which is not a good idea. And this is when I realized that I had found something that's actually pretty bad. And so I uploaded, I didn't upload, I sent an email to the admins of the platform describing the issue, saying what could have potentially caused it, some potential fixes, even though that's really not what I should have done, that's their job. And just sent it over, thinking that that would be the end of it. And they responded after a few days, they thanked me for it, and everything went quiet. And after about a week, I got an email asking me for a bank account, and so I gave it to them, and they just gave me 250 euros for finding this vulnerability.
That was a great talk, Spasimir. Your applaudissements.
And the next speaker is Steriana Shopova. Please applause.
Заповядай.
Hi everyone, I'm Steriana Shopova, and I'm here to tell you about upcoming challenge. So I know you all love events such as this one, which is great, and kudos to the organizers for such a great event. The next one will be on the 4th and 5th November here in the Jonathan Asson Forum, and it's called OpenFest. So OpenFest is a conference, the biggest in Bulgaria, dedicated to free and open source software, and also free knowledge sharing, free art, and whatnot. It's entirely free. There is no fee for attending. There is no registration, and it's entirely run by volunteers. So we are looking for help, and we are asking you to join us. You can apply for a volunteer at the form on the website. Right now, the call for papers is already closed, but we have that site opened, vote.openfest.org, which you can also open following the QR code link. And we have all the talk submissions there. You can help us decide which are the best talks for the conference. We're also looking for sponsors and partners who will support us for the event, since, as I mentioned, it's entirely run by volunteers and we don't have any admission fees, so we really count on support from our sponsors. You can also get a great t-shirt. We do give them away to people who donate to the conference. And we are really looking forward to seeing you there, 5th and 4th November, Jonathan Asson Forum. Thanks so.
Very much. And the next speaker is
Georgi Dimitrov.
Georgi Dimitrov.
Please applause.
Hi everybody, I'm Georgi Dimitrov, and today I'm gonna take a bit of a different turn. And yeah, now my time has started. And I'm actually gonna talk about software development, but not from coding skills or soft skills or something else. How I, in my personal opinion, would recommend a lot of people here would benefit from doing something different and actually becoming better software developers. And I named my talk microservices, microtransactions, and micro something else. So what would that micro something else be? Well, a lot of us spend a lot of time sitting down. And sure, you have those lifting desks. How many of you have lifting desks? The whole 3 people in the, oh, well, maybe there's 5 of you. Most of us spend our lives sitting down, our professional lives, and then for recreations, we sit down in front of the TV, scroll, scroll, scroll. What I suggest is spending 45 minutes a day, not in bulk, actually taking care of your body, because your body houses your most important tool, your mind, and also, you know, carpal tunnel sucks, lower back pain sucks, all of those things, not great. So, what will I suggest? Well, as I said, microservices, microtransactions, why not micro workouts? How would you go about something like this? You know, we're all busy, you're sitting in meetings the entire day. Let's say, and this is personal experience, 6 hours of meeting today. There is literally no way I'm going for a run. Well, what I can do instead is lunges. I have 10 minutes to take a bathroom break in between meetings. You stand up from your desk, you walk to your bathroom using lunges, not your normal walk. Sure, you look like a fool, but hey, home office, I don't care. I personally wouldn't care, I would do it in the office too, but that's personal preference. Other examples, you're sitting in the 4-hour meeting known as, well, I actually forgot the name of the meeting. You know, it's 4 hours, you're sitting in there, you're on camera because that's the corporate rules. So what do? Well, deep squats are a very, very good option there. So my suggestion is spend time on your bodies. And another poll, how many of you would actually, you know, want to lose some weight and be more active in their lives? With hands up. Oh, very few. Nice. I myself would want to be more active, and that's why I actually do what I actually practice what I preach. And personal experience backed up with a decent amount of research. Doing those things will make your life better. Almost all research agrees. Including sports in your life will make your cognitive abilities better, it will make you happier, it will make you more productive. Win, win, win. Of course, you know, the downside, we don't have time. That's straight up not true. If you have kids, that's the easiest solution. Just do what your kids do. Look at the way they move and do the same things as they do. You're going to find them a lot more challenging than a 7-year-old is going to find them. You know, I've seen 7-year-olds, hey, let's warm up. Sure, and I'm doing a split. Sure. That's, if you try to mimic your kids as adults, because a lot of you probably have kids, that's workout. That's good workout. Just be pedantic about it. Try to follow concepts. Try to follow protocols. And follow this micro workout mindset. You know, you have a workout today. You don't have time? Sure, just put on your shoes, step out of the house. You decide you don't have time, get back in, sit in front of your desk. First of all, I bet you half of the times you're actually going to go for the run, and the other half, you're just reinforcing the habit. A lot of this, I'm going to mention a book I know advertisement was not too supported, but James Clear, Atomic Habits. I would say a lot of the things that I practice, I learned from this book. And try micro workouts. If you want to bug me on my protocols, do find me outside. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the next
talk
speaker
is
Anton
Cholakov. He is one of the Deaf of the Year Awards nominee, as you know, so you will see him again.
Thank you very much. All right, people, as you heard already, my name is Anton Cholakov. Everybody calls me Tony. Most of you know me as Tony. I usually talk a lot. I don't have much time, as you see, so I'm going to try to be as quick as possible. And I'm not going to talk about development. I'm not going to talk about testing or DevOps or whatever. So yeah, probably that's important to you. It's important to me as well because that's how I make money at the end of the day. But today I'm going to talk about something that we call attendees. And a lot of people has asked me, what the hell is that? And what are these? So guys, I'm going to promote something. I checked with some people. They said it's okay, so I'm doing it. In Bulgarian, it's As moga tuki sega. In English, it's I can do it here and now, or something like that. And I want to ask you, how many of you heard the phrase that your colleagues are your family? Raise your hand. You heard it, right? How many of you believe that it's true? Oh, God. All right, that's not true. Your colleagues are not your family, but we are. What we do in Amtis, or Аз мога тук и сега, is that we became family. Our thing, we're not making money. We're actually making people believe in their dream. And we believe that the I, us, it's not the most important thing in the world. It is more important the set of words can, here, and now. As Pasimir, as Evgeny is going to do it in about 3 minutes. So we make people believe that they can do it. We're doing IT contests, we're doing foreign languages contests, we're doing Super Summer Academy, we're also doing the so-called March of Inspirers, so everyone can invite us in their school. The only thing they need to provide is basically a place, a hall or school hall or whatever, some place that we can gather up and talk to the students, to the people in general, about who we are, what we do, and try to inspire you guys. So yeah, we're trying to do that. We're trying to be that. As I said, we don't do it for money. We do it for our kids, for your kids. So if you have students, if you have kids, if you have colleagues or whatever, I really do recommend just check our site or drop me a message in LinkedIn or whatever, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. And we usually do that in Devin, all the contests that we have, all the events, and we shout a lot. We love saying Аз мога тук и сега, and we do it in Devin. But today we're in Sofia, and actually it's the first time that we're going to do it. We have a small group right here. That group is a mix of ex-students, part of our so-called alumni club. We also have students which are here and now and show us that they can do it, they can do anything. So I want to ask you guys, let's shout it out here in Sofia. So 1, 2, 3. That's it, thank you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Next up is Evgeny Данаилов. На здраве, моето учи.
Test. Hello, I'm Evgeny Danayov. I'm in 12th grade. I'm from Pogaya Plovdiv. Wait, okay. And today I want to talk about the time I fixed a bug in Counter-Strike and also didn't get credited for it. So there was this period in my life when I was 17 and I was playing a lot of Counter-Strike. I was playing like 8 hours a day. And I updated my computer to Windows 11. And the game started taking like a minute to launch. It wasn't quite a minute, it was like 30 seconds, 40 or something, but it's meant to launch in like 5. And I got so mad that I ended up reverse engineering the client, and I brought out a profiler, and I found out it was taking most of that time in some random function, and it was going there from a hook that Valve had installed using their anti-cheat. So basically, the game has 2 anti-cheats. One is called the Valve anti-cheat. The other is called Trusted Mode. And turns out what Trusted Mode does is every time you open a file, it's going to scan it. Every time the game itself opens a file, trusted mode is going to scan it. It's going to hash the file. It's going to compare it to make sure it's not a cheat or something, and it will block it if it's not recognized. And turns out it's doing that, not just to DLLs, it's doing it to pretty much everything. And while the game is launching, it's not actually rendering anything. It's not doing anything, but the game overlay that Steam, the client, okay, this is a little complicated. Steam is the thing where you launch the game from, and it has this little overlay for like your friends list and stuff. And the overlay is attempting to load Direct3D9, OpenGL, etc., a bunch of graphics libraries, and it's doing this thousands of times a second, and every single time, trusted mode is hashing the file, and this takes like, I don't know, it's not much, but it's doing it thousands of times. It is stalling the game. So I opened up IDA Pro. It's a tool for reverse engineering, and I looked into what exactly they were doing, and I compared what it's doing on Windows 10 and what it's doing on Windows 11. And I found out that the difference was that on Windows 11, Microsoft had made an undocumented change to an undocumented function. So again, kind of makes sense. They changed one flag. Previously, it would be set to, I think it was 20 in Windows 10, and it was 21 in Windows 11 or something like that. I don't quite remember. And CSGO, Counter-Strike, was checking that this was equal to 20. The flag used was equal to 20. This is a little complicated. I don't have much time, so I can't really go into too much detail. But essentially, what was happening is Microsoft made this tiny change, and it made the game launch 40 seconds slower. Valve did not care. People had been complaining about this for like a full year. Valve did not do anything about it. And so I did a proof of concept fix. The fix was changing a 20 to a 21. And Valve, when I emailed them about this, did not respond. They're very well known for this. They did not respond. And then about half a month later, not half a month, half a year later, Counter-Strike 2 releases in closed beta. And they had implemented my fix. I was not credited or contacted, but they had implemented my fix. And the game now launched correctly. But they never fixed it in CSGO, so this went on for another 6 months until they finally actually released the new game. That's about it.
That was great, thank you.
And
the final speaker, lightning speaker, is someone who's called Peter.
Peter
No one knows him.
Peter Sevev.
Well, I wasn't going to sign up, but I got inspired by Spasimir and his first talk. So in the last minute, I just wrote down my name. I just have several seconds to talk you about the topic I was inspired about. So first, if you haven't heard in the morning, we have given 40 plus tickets for high school students this year. And we have 2 of them already contributing on the conference. So this will not be the last year. Definitely respect for those young talents who are our future colleagues. I'm sure about that. Now, I'll put the hat of security officer because we are all creating different software applications, and many of us create such applications that are quite exposed to the public. And trust me, there will be people like Spasimir who are talented or who are skilled or both or just curious or intentionally trying to find problems. There will probably be securities and security and vulnerability risks in your application that will be found by external people. And here comes the problem. Many of those people may be really good towards your company with very good intentions, and they may not disclose the security or vulnerability because your company, according to many laws in different countries, can sue them for unauthorized hacking. So we have a problem. We want to know about good intended people who want to report bugs and security problems, and at the same time, we can sue them. So what's the solution? The solution is responsible disclosure policy. So Google it, check if your company has responsible disclosure policy, check with your legal if needed, but make sure that if your application has some vulnerability risks exposed to the public and the public finds those risks, they will be very confident about disclosing those problems to you officially. That's it. Thank you.
Well, these were the lightning talks for our second edition of Dev Challenge Accepted, a conference with a cause.